The KZN Sex Workers Symposium is taking place in Durban today. The dominating topic is expected to be decriminalising sex work and the challenges faced by workers in the industry. Government and civil society organisations will be participating in the symposium alongside representatives from the sex workers sector. Our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge is there for us and joins us this morning. Good morning, Siphamandla. We understand that the decriminalisation of sex work will be top of the agenda. Talk to us about this.
Indeed, the criminalization of sex work and other issues that affect those who are in the sector are set to take the center stage here at this sex work symposium that is taking place in Durban. It involves all other stakeholders that have got to do with the industry, including government as well as civil society and other organizations that look after and represent the interests of sex workers. I'm not going to waste too much time because the program is just gotten underway. I can hear inside they are singing the national anthem, and then they will get on with the program that includes members of the provincial legislature. The speaker of the KwaZulu-Natal provincial legislature, Nontembeko Boyce, is here. Members of the provincial legislature are here. The office of the premier is also invited to this symposium. But right now, let's talk to those who are involved with the sector. We are joined by Katlego. Katlego, thank you very much for your time. You are from the Sisonke sex worker movement. Let's talk about the issues affecting those that are in your industry or sector. There have been too many calls to decriminalize sex work. It's not happening. It's taking forever. What are the issues that affect you in this industrial sector?
Thanks for the opportunity given. As we all hear, this is just about the colonialism that we want the country to look into those laws. Firstly, the criminalization of sex work took in 1975, where the colonizers in South Africa, they made sure that they police women's bodies, specifically black women. We're in a country of this is 2022. We are saying to our government, you should revisit those laws. Remember, we're talking white supremacy here. These are laws that were clearly formed by white supremacists. Criminalization of sex work has impacted sex work in a manner that sex workers are now, they went underground. By saying underground, I mean they cannot voice themselves out. It's very difficult for a sex worker to be raped and walk into a police station and say, "Officer, I'm doing sex work and I'm an adult, I'm consenting, but I got raped." The police wouldn't take them seriously because of clearly sex work is still regarded as crime in the country. And funny part, for the legislature of KZN, this is one of the biggest symposium ever after the Gauteng Sex Workers Parliament. This is the symposium whereby we invited 200 sex workers, and for the fact that it's one of the those baby steps that we see the legislature taking place by making sure that sex workers' voice it's in the table. And for the fact that, as we know, KZN, carries the power. KZN carries South Africa. And for KZN to be doing this through its legislative process, we believe sooner enough, before even 2024, sex work will be decriminalized in South Africa. Because if you look at the gender-based and feminism plan, it gives up to by 2024. But this is just a prediction, meaning by 2024, there might be chances that sex work will be decriminalized in South Africa. So for now, we are glad as a movement that this is one of its own, symposium that we see. People coming out, people saying this is happening to our own black fellow women. And funny part, most of the time you'll never even see your media portraying other races. It's always a black woman who's being portrayed being a sex worker. And looking at the country now, we do have male sex workers, we have Chinese, we have all types of races, but it's always the media that portrays a black woman being a sex. That's a stigma on its own. So today we are here to say, let's destigmatize all of those, what the media is feeding us. Let's put a more human face into sex work. And according to our research, you might find one female sex worker feeds up to 6 people in a household. So these are some of the things that we say, but government, please, can you be more lenient when you come to dealing with sex workers' issues?
Do you think there is political will to decriminalize sex work? Because there have been resolutions that have been taken in the past, and some people say the slow pace that we see is as a result of that lack of political will. It's interesting that lawmakers are present, inside here at this symposium, because those are the people who are processing laws and policies of the country, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal. The legislature is here. So do you think there is that political will to sort this once and for all?
there's not much political will in terms of political leaders. We only see them when they're about to be, what they want elections from us. Then they will we have resolved under this, the resolution to decriminalize sex work. We have seen it happening. I won't mention which political party, but you have seen it happening lots of time where when it's around election, they will throw in sex work into their campaign. But when it's time to implement, then they drag their feet. And I'm talking, we are in a country where 288,000 self-identified sex workers currently now, as per our HIV National Strategic Plan. Imagine if 288,000, these are specifically black women and trans who are into sex work, if they were to say we are going to now start having our own political party, it's almost like 4 seats in parliament. If we're just to start opening our own movement to say now we want to start to engage as a political party. But we look up to leaders to say, but we should now be more lenient and make sure that let's more put a more human right face into this concept of how we're going to make sure that sex workers are protected, their health rights is protected, and also not only that, they are kids, because most of the bullies now, they're also now starting to attack sex workers' kids, which is quite a bit saddening.
I see the police are involved here. They are part of this symposium. There's been a concern about the safety of sex workers. Most of them are being harassed, but they don't get that protection. What is it that you would want the police to do when it comes to your sector?
We have engaged in a process. It's called the sensitization of the trainers with the police, where we train the police, the heads of the police, so that they can roll out in district, especially in KZN, whereby by sensitization, so that the police can understand that it's not a prostitute, it is a sex work, because it's all from a human face. The police can understand what is an LGBTIQ+. So these are some of the things that today we also invited them to say, we want an update. We just want to hear what has happened. Are they people are still being called, because it's a Zulu word, are they still being called Itaban when they come to open cases at police station or Mahosha? These are some of the things that we want to know. Are the sensitization workshop working in KZN, or where are the gaps, or where should we improve?
Another challenge would be to convince the religious sector and the traditional leadership sector, because those are the people and sectors that are still opposed to the decriminalization of sex work. In terms of, engagements with those structures and sectors, how far have you gone in trying to ensure that even those who are opposed to this happening, they are on board, at least they understand why it should be decriminalized?
We have already started engaging with the bigger structure at the national of the religious sector, whereby they are developing a manual that is going to be a trainer of the training, whereby if you want to be, let's say you want to be a bishop, and then they're going to specifically train you on how to articulate, because no seeing is higher than the other. So a thief, the very same thief, is also equivalent to a prostitute that when you preach. So these are some of the things that we also going to make sure that we sensitize. How do they deliver the message of the Lord to all humans?
This is the second symposium, if I'm not mistaken, here in KwaZulu-Natal. Last year there were resolutions that were taken. I've not seen much of the implementation of those resolutions. Are you hopeful that after this there will be some positive outcome and movement?
I'm glad that the Premier of KZN is in the house, and he's going to be delivering all those resolutions. Remember, it takes time to implement certain resolution. And if we speak in September last year, this is only June. So there might be the hope that not all of them, because I'm the one who signed off those resolutions, not all of them might be implemented, but through the planning process that we have engaged with the legislature, there's hope that, yes, there might be also that already have been implemented, and we're going to be told today. So I cannot comment or neither say yes or no on that issue until the Premier delivered his speech.
Thank you very much for your time. We shall see you later. Well, basically, that is Katlego. Katlego is from the Sisonke sex worker movement, speaking about issues affecting those who are involved in the sector here. But most importantly, there is that long-standing call to decriminalize sex work.
All right, Siphamandla, we'll leave it there for now. That's senior reporter Siphamandla Goge.